I just made this dress without a sewing pattern and it has a built-in bra. Let me show you how. To make sure that this part here that's called the selvage, it's a finished edge that doesn't fray. You want that part to be on the side when you're cutting your fabric. Basically, the stretchiest part of the fabric is what is going to wrap around your body. So this is where we want the selvage. So when I cut my dress, I know that I'm going to be cutting up and down because the stretchy part then is going to wrap around my body this way instead of this way. The first thing you will need is a similar dress to trace, or like me, you can use a fitted tank top and dress or skirt that is your desired length. You will be cutting on the fold, which means the fabric for the dress we are making is folded over and we are cutting through 2 layers of fabric. Fold your garments that you already own in half lengthwise to cut out the dress. Leave about 1/2 inch perimeter for seam allowance. Remember, you can always give yourself extra seam allowance and cut back later. I folded my own tank top to the opposite side, but for the length, to make the back piece, I folded my own tank top to the opposite side, but for the length, I used the cut of the dress that I had already made. This way, the final length would match up. Using a basting stitch with right sides together, I sewed the dress together at the shoulder seams, and then I sewed it together at the sides. I do like the slit right here, so I'm going to make sure that my slits are even and unpick this one a little bit so that they are at the same point. After trying it on to make sure I liked the fit, I went back over my basting stitch with a lining stitch. You do not want to use a straight stitch when you are sewing the areas of the dress that will stretch, because a straight stitch could pop and then your dress will come apart. Now we are going to finish the slits. To finish the slit area, I pressed and folded the fabric toward the inside of the dress 1 centimeter 2 times, so about 2 centimeters in total, and sewed it down. When you're sewing something super small and delicate, like a very small folded hem, sometimes your thread can get caught in your machine. So this is what I like to do to avoid it. I sew into a scrap piece of fabric first, and then I kind of pull it through. That way my threads are already caught on another piece of fabric, and then I introduce this. I started my stitch about 1 inch above where the slit begins to open. Because this is a knit fabric, we do not need to worry about finishing the seams on the inside of the dress, as the fabric will not fray. At this point, this is what the slit of the dress should look like. Repeat these same steps on the other side. Now it's time to hem the dress. At the bottom of both the front and back, I hemmed the dress by folding up the hem 1 inch 2 times and sewed a straight stitch across the hem. To make the built-in bra, I used the dress as a pattern to trace out mirrored front and back pieces, cutting them 2 inches below my bra line. I sewed the bra pieces together at the shoulder seams and at the side seams. Then, placing the dress and bra right sides together, I pinned them together at the neckline. Before taking this over to my sewing machine, I used pins to make sure that the pieces didn't shift. You really want to make sure that the seams for the shoulders match up. This is very important because you want your pieces to be mirrored images of each other. To finish the armholes, I created wide binding. For the length of the binding, you want it to be about 80% of the total circumference of the armhole. For the width, I used this Scotch tape trick. I placed the tape right onto the fabric and I cut it out, which ensures that the fabric won't slip around and my measurements will be exact. Lifting pins and needles has a very helpful tutorial on attaching knit binding to armholes with a really good explanation. I will add a link for that in the description. But you can see here that I sew my binding closed right side together on the short side, and then I sew it right side facing onto the armhole. Fold it in toward the inside of the dress and stitch as close to the seam as possible, also known as stitch in the ditch. Once my armhole binding was attached, I turned the dress inside out to create the elastic channel for the bottom of the bra. I folded the bra to the wrong side about an inch 2 times and used a wide zigzag stitch to sew the dress channel shut, being sure to leave a 2-inch opening to insert the elastic. For the elastic, I just cut the amount I needed of what fit comfortably to my body. I measured it at the base of my bra line. I used a safety pin to insert the elastic and then I sewed the opening shut. To make sure that the elastic doesn't roll when I wear this or when I wash it, I stretched my elastic and with a zigzag stitch, I stitched over the elastic. That way it will keep it in place and it will not shift around when I wash my dress. And that was the last step. Please let me know if you try this. I really appreciate you watching this video and I hope that you found it helpful. I would love if you would like and subscribe so I can make more videos like this. Thank you.